Good morning and welcome to Radio Plus. This is Something for the Games. We welcome you. Tom's not with us today, so we've got a bit of Chariots of Fire instead of his funky intro. But we are joined by special guest presenter Mark Taylor. Welcome, Mark.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you doing, Darren?
I'm doing okay. I'm almost awake. I love a bit of Chariots of Fire just to get us going.
It's lovely.
It's sort of the pace I feel like I'm going at this morning.
It's a great choice for the morning.
There you go. So let's have something to wake us up. We're going to start with a bit of U2 and then we're going to have a bit of a chat. You are with us here on Something for the Games. I'm Darren and I'm joined by Mark Taylor as our special guest presenter this morning. Hey, he's giving himself a cheer. It is 13 minutes past 7. Hopefully you're waking up to this lovely sunny morning and you're going to have a good day. Mark, we should go back to the very beginning of the games. What did you think of the opening ceremony?
I loved it, and the piece that I really love it's got to be the Queen.
I just love to live in Danny Boyle's head. If that's the sort of thing he can come up with.
I'm a little worried about that statement.
Do you know what I mean? It was so surreal, but actually it summed up Britain.
Yes, it's got that eccentric quality, isn't it? The whole thing. Bruce Forsyth would have been the choice.
He did run with the flame, didn't he? The day before or something like that.
Yeah, I thought he's on during the day. I thought it's him, isn't it?
I just have that vision. Good game. Dear, don't even just. Talking of Mr. Bean and Bruce Forsyth and people like that, Boris Johnson.
Yes.
Bless him.
Oh, wasn't that lovely piece of video where he's sitting there stuck on the rope. It's like a sort of a stuntman's training day, wasn't it? It's gone wrong.
I mean, for anybody that has no clue at all what we're talking about, look on the news websites and watch the news today. Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, I love him, was there trying to promote Olympic stuff going on, an Olympic live event, a screen event in London, in Victoria Park, and he was on a zip wire. He was trying to promote some stuff where people get to try some of the Olympic sports, and he was 45 metre high zip wire, and he got stuck. Bless him.
Poor Boris. And he did well though. There is something very British and very eccentric about how he responds.
If I'm honest, I expected him to be in the opening ceremony. Because everybody I expect him to come in on his bike or something holding the torch, He's so British, but everybody loves him. I mean, if you go back to when he received the flag at the last games, and he managed to wrap it around his head. He seemed to be the only person in the whole stadium who couldn't wave a flag.
That takes practice. I've tried that.
So we'll come out of this and I'll talk a little bit more about some of the things, the sport that actually happened. That's all right. The amazing Bradley Wiggins.
Yes. I'm looking at some of the local papers, and there's this fabulous photo where he's sitting there in a really cool way with his wings up, sitting on that throne. I mean, isn't that a man who's just saying, "Hey, I've done it"?
But it's just that he's become an icon at so many levels, hasn't he? Between the sideburns and. He's now Britain's most prolific medal winner at the Olympics. I can see that in the coming days there's going to be a lot of contention. It started already. I've heard people going, but he's not our most prolific gold medal winner. That's Steve Redgrave. People are very protective of Steve Redgrave. But then just behind them both is Chris Hoy. Interesting one about people complaining to the BBC. You should tell us more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think this is slightly amusing. I mean, firstly, if listeners don't know, for those of you who are FreeSat or Sky viewers, the satellite platforms are pushing out a number of digital channels. You can watch, I'm sure you all know this, listeners, any game you like. Just flick the channels. And I think that's great, actually. I mean, I must admit, I've been sitting there flicking through the channels. I mean, there aren't sports on all channels all the time, but the fact that you can just dip into anything.
Yeah, it's the first time, really, isn't it? I mean,
yes, and in glorious HD, it's super.
Yeah.
I mean, it's excellent coverage from the BBC. But I'm afraid some viewers have told the BBC to stop moving events from channel to channel, saying it is wearing them out, trying to keep up. I can't go
that remote control thumb. It's just hard.
That's right. I mean, I think this is the BBC One, BBC Three viewers who sort of have to go between the two channels and don't like it. But it's just some of the comments. I mean, It's the fact that one viewer wrote on the BBC's message board, "I'm trying to watch the bike race here. It started on BBC One, moved to BBC Three, and now it's moved to the red button. Stop doing that." I mean,
that was very points of view, Mark.
Yes.
You've got a future.
I do like it. Yes.
Now, one of the things we usually do on a Friday afternoon is have. It gives us about 12 minutes to go and make a cup of tea.
Excellent.
We have this 3 at 3 thing, where it's 3 songs by the same artist that has some way affected Tom or I in the past. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? It sounded so good in my head.
This is a weird show, Darren.
Welcome, Mark. You knew you'd fit in.
It's my kind of time, isn't it?
So what we decided we'd do during these 2 weeks of our breakfast show celebrating all things about the games was have a Best of British slot. Now, being guest presenter, Mark, I've given you the dubious honour of...
very kind of you. I'm hoping you'll like the choices.
It all depends how this goes as to whether you ever come back.
Okay, well...
so tell people what we're going to listen to.
Okay, well, you want Best of British, and here we are in Coventry. It's got to be a Coventry band. It's got to be a band from the late 70s, early 80s, who were politically astute, if I can use that expression, but clearly had great impact on the music scene at the time. It's the Specials, and I've chosen 2 songs. The first one's called Rat Race. Whatever your circumstances, this is the Christian view. I mean, the Specials are not a Christian band. At least I don't think any of the members of the Specials are Christians. But a bit of Philippians. "I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of contentment in every situation, whether it is a full stomach or hunger, plenty or want. For I can do everything God asks me to do with the help of Christ, who gives me the strength and power." I just think that's a much more optimistic message.
It's all about Jesus.
Yes, it is indeed.
Absolutely. We're going to play a song called, I've got to play this, so I have no idea what it sounds like, but it sounds great. It's called Last Train to Awesome Town. I've no idea, but the Cheds has arrived. Steve Chedzoy and his team have arrived. They're standing outside very patiently in the corridor. We're going to play this and then we're going to talk to them.
Hi viewers, it's over.